Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Sharifa Muhammad MGT.
I'm Colonel AUC3I Oguntoye, an infantry officer. Russian armed forces maintained offensive pressure across all operational axes on March 1, 2026, with all groups reporting tactical improvements or continued advances. The past 24 hours have been characterized by sustained positional gains, significant attrition of Western-supplied equipment, and continued deep strikes against Ukrainian energy infrastructure. Notable Ukrainian losses include a U.S.-made HIMARS MLRS, a U.S.-made Stryker APC, a U.S.-made M777 howitzer, 3 Western-made artillery pieces, and multiple counterfire radars and electronic warfare stations. The center and east groups again account for the highest reported Ukrainian casualties.
Colonel, let's start in the north. The North Force Group reports taking more advantageous positions and engaging an air assault brigade, an airmobile brigade, and 3 territorial defense brigades in Sumy, plus 3 heavy mechanized brigades, an artillery brigade, a motorized infantry brigade, and a National Guard brigade in Kharkiv. Ukrainian losses include over 200 personnel, a U.S.-made HIMARS MLRS, a Grad MLRS, 3 artillery pieces, a signal intelligence station, an ammunition depot, and 7 material depots. The HIMARS destruction is significant, but 7 material depots in one sector in one day is staggering. What does this tell us?
Let's start with the HIMARS because it's the headline grabber. The HIMARS is a high-mobility artillery rocket system that has been one of Ukraine's most effective deep-strike weapons. It can fire precision-guided rockets out to 70 to 80 kilometers, allowing Ukrainian forces to strike Russian command posts, logistics nodes, and troop concentrations with great accuracy. Destroying a HIMARS launcher is a significant tactical achievement. It removes a precise, long-range threat from the battlefield. But more importantly, it sends a message to the United States and other donor nations that their most advanced systems are vulnerable. Each HIMARS destroyed is a multi-million-dollar loss that cannot be easily replaced. Now, the 7 materiel depots, 7 in a single sector in a single day, is extraordinary. Materiel depots store everything from food and fuel to spare parts and medical supplies. Losing 7 at once creates an immediate logistics crisis for Ukrainian forces in the north.
And this is all in one sector in one day?
Yes, this is what a successful integrated strike operation looks like. Russian forces identified high-value targets across the battle space and engaged them all simultaneously. The signal intelligence station destroyed here is also significant. These stations intercept Russian communications and provide critical intelligence. Losing one blinds Ukrainian forces to Russian intentions in this sector. The combination of a HIMARS, a Grad MLRS, 3 artillery pieces, a signal intelligence station, and 7 materiel depots represents a comprehensive degradation of Ukrainian combat power in the north. They are losing their ability to strike deep, to fire at the front, to gather intelligence, and to supply their troops.
In the West, the West Group reports an improved tactical situation and engaged 2 mechanized brigades and 1 National Guard brigade. Ukrainian losses include 190 personnel, an infantry fighting vehicle, 20 vehicles, a Grad MLRS combat vehicle, 6 artillery pieces, including 3 Western-made, 2 counterfire radars, and 2 ammunition depots. 3 Western-made artillery pieces in one sector is significant. What does this tell us?
3 Western-made artillery pieces in a single sector in a single day represents a major degradation of Ukraine's qualitative artillery edge. These could be French Césars, German Panzerhaubitzen 2000s, Polish Krabs, or other NATO-supplied systems. Each one is more accurate, longer-ranged, and more survivable than most Soviet-era systems. Losing 3 at once removes a significant amount of precision firepower from the Ukrainian order of battle. It also forces Ukraine to rely more heavily on older, less capable systems. The 2 counterfire radars destroyed here are equally significant. Counterfire radars are the eyes of Ukrainian artillery. They detect incoming Russian shells, determine their point of origin, and enable Ukrainian gunners to return fire accurately. Without them, Ukrainian artillery is fighting blind. The 2 ammunition depots mean that even if Ukraine had more guns, they might soon lack shells. This is holistic warfare, targeting the entire artillery ecosystem.
In the South Group reports improved forward edge positions and engaged 3 mechanized brigades, a motorized infantry brigade, a mountain assault brigade, an airmobile brigade, and a territorial defense brigade. Ukrainian losses include over 220 personnel, a U.S.-made Stryker armored personnel carrier, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 13 vehicles, 5 artillery pieces, including a U.S.-made M777 howitzer, a counterfire radar, 4 electronic warfare stations, an ammunition depot, and 5 material depots. The Stryker and M777 are both high-value U.S. systems. What does their destruction tell us?
The Stryker is a modern, highly capable infantry carrier. It provides protected mobility for infantry squads, allowing them to maneuver on the battlefield under armor. Losing one Stryker means that a squad of Ukrainian infantry is now either dismounted or reliant on less protected vehicles. The M777 howitzer, as we've discussed, is a precision artillery piece. Losing one removes a significant fire support asset. But look at the full picture here. 1 Stryker, 1 M777, 2 other AFVs, 5 artillery pieces total, a counterfire radar, 4 EW stations, an ammunition depot, and 5 material depots. This is a comprehensive degradation of Ukrainian combat power in the south. The 4 EW stations destroyed are particularly significant. Electronic warfare is the invisible shield that protects Ukrainian forces from Russian reconnaissance and precision strikes. Losing 4 in one sector creates a massive vulnerability that Russian forces will exploit.
The Center Group reports the highest Ukrainian personnel losses of the day, up to 330. They engaged 2 mechanized brigades, an infantry brigade, an airmobile brigade, a Jaeger brigade, an airborne brigade, an assault regiment, the Azov Special Forces Brigade, and 3 National Guard brigades. Ukrainian losses include 6 armored fighting vehicles, 9 vehicles, and 2 artillery pieces. The engagement of Azov continues. What does this tell us about the intensity of fighting here?
The Center Group continues to be the main effort in Donetsk, and the 330 personnel lost here confirms that heavy fighting continues. The engagement of Azov, a politically significant special forces unit, tells us that Ukraine is committing its best remaining forces to hold this sector. The fact that Azov is being used in conventional defensive combat, rather than their specialized roles, is another sign of Ukrainian manpower stress. Elite units are being consumed in the grinding defensive battle. The equipment losses here, 6 AFVs and 2 artillery pieces, are significant, but perhaps lower than one might expect given the personnel losses. This may indicate that Ukrainian units in this sector have already lost much of their heavy equipment and are now fighting essentially as light infantry.
The East Group reports continuing to advance into the depth of enemy defense and engaging a mechanized brigade, 2 assault brigades, 2 air assault brigades, 4 assault regiments, and a Marine brigade. Ukrainian losses include 330 personnel, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 5 vehicles, 1 artillery piece, and 1 electronic warfare station. The deep advanced language has been consistent in this sector. What does today's report tell us?
The East Group's continued advance into the depth of enemy defenses tells us that their penetration is being successfully exploited. They are not just pushing the line forward, they are operating in the Ukrainian rear area, engaging reserves, and disrupting command nodes. The range of settlements mentioned spans both Zaporizhzhia and Dnipropetrovsk oblasts, indicating that the battle space continues to expand. Russian forces are engaging Ukrainian units in multiple locations, preventing them from concentrating for a coordinated defense. The engagement of 4 assault regiments is significant. Assault regiments are elite infantry units. Their commitment here indicates that Ukraine is throwing its best remaining forces into this sector to try to stem the Russian advance. The fact that they are being attrited, 330 personnel lost, suggests they are not succeeding.
The Dnieper Group reports engaging a heavy mechanized brigade and a territorial defense brigade, inflicting losses of up to 40 personnel, 13 vehicles, 1 P-18 radar, 2 electronic warfare stations, and 1 material depot. The P-18 radar is a Soviet-era early warning radar. What does its destruction mean?
The P-18 is a VHF-band early warning radar used for air surveillance. It can detect aircraft and some cruise missiles at long ranges. Destroying it degrades Ukraine's air situational awareness in this sector. The 2 EW stations destroyed here continue the sensor degradation theme. The 13 vehicles lost is a significant mobility hit for a relatively quiet sector.
Colonel, let's turn to the operational tactical section. Russian forces struck energy infrastructure facilities used for the interests of the Ukrainian defense industry, as well as temporary deployment areas in 144 areas. Air defense intercepted 220 UAVs, 4 HIMARS rockets, and 9 guided bombs. What do these numbers tell us?
The targeting of energy infrastructure used by the Ukrainian defense industry is a direct attack on Ukraine's ability to produce weapons. The defense industry requires reliable power. By striking energy infrastructure, Russia is trying to disrupt weapons production at its source. The 144 areas struck is down from recent peaks, but remains a significant number. The deep battle continues at scale. The air defense numbers, 220 UAVs, 4 HIMARS rockets, and 9 guided bombs, demonstrate continued effectiveness. 220 drones in a day is a high number, and the fact that they were all intercepted speaks to the density and effectiveness of Russian air defense.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to emphasize that the destruction of a HIMARS, a Stryker, an M777, and 3 other Western artillery pieces in a single day demonstrates that no system is safe. Ukrainian forces must adapt their tactics or face continued losses of their most capable equipment.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive frontline updates from commanders in theater.